Hi everyone, welcome to Budget of Oz. I'm Sarah, a disabled low-income budgeter, and what we're going to do today, as it's a new financial year, we're going to do a bit of a financial goal and kind of financial reset for the next 12 months, as well as set up my budget planner, which is just kind of where I keep all of my kind of personal trackers and budgeting things that you don't see. But I also thought it would be really good to kind of show you how I set this up and kind of just how I try and set myself up for success. Doesn't always work, but what I try to do. So you'll see here that I've got monthly dividers. I've just printed them out on cardstock. I'm going to have these available for a free digital download. Link will be in the description. And we're going to go through financial goals and a financial reset of my bills and everyday expenses in this video, as well as setting up and making the planner look pretty. So for my financial goals, I start off with my savings and my debt. So for me, I like to start off with what savings challenges I want to try and complete and or continue. So for me this year, it's going to be the 52 week. It's going to be the season savings. I want to complete my monthly savings. I want to do my health. Savings challenge. I also like to add a few. I'm also doing the coin jar. So the coin jar challenge, where you dump all your loose change into a coin jar and count it up at the end. We got we got 130 over 3 months, which was amazing. I also like to kind of include things here that are a little bit more fun. So I like my dice game, which is just random chance. What I don't include here are savings challenges that go towards sinking funds. So those are kind of like, really they're sinking funds. But they're kind of like challenges and games to help me save towards sinking funds and just make it a little bit more fun. These are savings challenges that are just for saving money. I don't actually know where the money is going to go when I'm finished. It's just to save. At this stage, that's all I want to do. I will, of course, have in my savings challenge binder those other ones that are directly for sinking funds, but those that are specifically just for savings, just to save, just to get me to save money, are here. And I think that's doable. So let's go to debt. So I want to pay $3,000 off my credit card. That's on top of the minimum payments that I'm like regularly making. And I'm not too sure. So the debts I have are my credit card, and in Australia, our student loan system is called HEX, but we don't get charged interest on it. So it's an interest-free debt that just goes up with inflation. So it's one of those things that you kind of comes out of your tax, but you can make additional contributions to. So this financial year, I want to make $1,000 contribution to my HEX. Again, that's on top of what comes out of what comes out of our, so the way it works, it comes out of our income tax. So we pay income tax and then we don't get money back. And basically, yeah, we're always paying it off because it's a debt to the government. But we can choose to pay it off quicker, and then you get like tax incentives and stuff. So I'm going to try and make $1,000 contribution to my HEX this financial year, 23-24. Not sure if I will, but I want to try. I just realized up here I didn't actually add one that I'm currently doing. So we also have the $5 challenge, and then I've also got my challenge envelopes, which come in 500, 1,000 and 2,000 at my shop. And I will be completing, I think I'm going to start off with $1,000 one after I finished the $10 one, which is the one I'm working on at the moment. So I'm not going to put an amount to that because like when I finish one, I'm going to like unstuff it and then I'm going to move on to the next one. So hopefully, yeah. Also a little goal that I don't know if I will get to is, like, this is an if. I'd like to start the 100 envelope challenge. But for me, that's really, really, really going to depend on how I'm going with all my other savings challenge and how I'm going moving towards my sinking funds goals. So yeah, that's like a pie in the sky for me, because as a low income budgeter, I don't have a lot of money. And so not having a lot of money means that I can only do so much savings. It also means that like the big numbers in the 100 envelope challenge are really challenging for me. So I'm not sure if I will just do, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to think about it, but I would like to do one. So I'm going to think about it. And I think that's just where I'm going to be. I'm going to think about it. So those are my financial goals for my savings challenges and my debt for this financial year. Now let's have a look at my sinking funds. So I have a few sinking funds. And I do want to and so what I'm doing here, this is what I'm going to note down is kind of the where I'd like it to be. So for some of them, I think that's going to be doable this year. For some of them, it's not going to be doable this year, and I know it's not, and it's something we're working towards long term. So I know, like, you know, my 40th and the travel and even possibly the 1 month ahead, we might not get there this year. And that's okay. But I'm hoping that if we do get there, like, that we can get some of the lower ones there. But I honestly don't know. So let's have a look. For medications, even though that is more like a cash envelope, for me, the kind of happy point is 150. For doctors, the happy point for me is 200. For carers, it's 150. Mental health, it's 200. Physical therapy, it's 200. Medical equipment is 500. Hospital access is 500. That's with a note that I need to get that there before January. And so that's probably going to be shifted a little bit to high priority in terms of we're going to focus on that. And medical buffer, I would like 200 in there just in case. Okay. Car, realistically, I want 1,000. I don't think we're going to get there this year. House, I would like 500. Technology, I would like 1,000. Again, don't think we're going to get there this year. Repair buffer, 500. Maybe. Home reno, this is one I know we're not going to get to this year because I want to get to 5,000. Pretty sure that's not happening this year, but we're going to work towards it. Costco, 200. And medical buffer, 200. All right. So, Emily, I'd like to get to 500. Chloe, I would like to get to 1,000. Elizabeth, I would like to get to 500. And Matt, I would like to get to 300. The dogs, I'd like to get to 200. Friends, I'd like to get to 100. Birthdays to 150. And holidays, a float of 100. I think will be good. Knowing that I'm probably still going to save for Christmas and Easter and things like that. All right, those are my financial goals for my sinking funds. I know some of these are not going to be reached, but I know that others will be reached. I'm fairly confident that I can get the people's, maybe, and that the disabled life, I definitely think that we can get by there financially, probably get that done. Home, I know we'll work on it, and I'll give it a good try, but I'm not 100% sure if we'll get all the way there. So that's the reality. So for emergency, ooh, that is the wrong end. For emergency, I want $1,000 in the emergency fund. We're at 600 now, so I actually think we can do that. For excess, it's 1,500, and we actually are sitting at that right now. So it's like, woohoo, we don't have to worry about that unless we dip into it, and then we have to worry about it. Then 1 month ahead would probably equal, I think it's going to equal 1,800. For that's just for bills and everyday expenses. So jumping over here to bills buffer, I like to keep 300 for like unexpected bills and stuff. So for wardrobe, 200, treat, 150, weekend, 100, education, 200, and this is where I know we are definitely not getting there this year, or possibly next year, or possibly the year after, but we're going to start working on them. So the 40th, I want 10,000, and for travel, I want 10,000. Those are long-term saving goals. You know, we will work on them bit by bit, but that's going to be a challenge to get to, but that's okay. So overall, these are kind of like my financial goals. Some of them I know we're not going to hit, but I write them down just so I can have an idea and to kind of keep track of where I'm going, how far, you know, how I'm going, if I'm going to get there, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's like a really good thing to just write your goals down. And even if you know you're not going to get there, or that these are longer term goals, you get to see how far you've gotten towards that goal this year, which is really great. And it's really motivating, especially coming from a low income place. even if I can get like $500 to that $10,000, hey, that's $500 done, which is amazing. So, you know, every dollar counts, every cent counts, which is what I keep trying to remind myself. So now let's have a look at our financial reset. So I do this to check that I'm paying the right amount to my bills and that I'm allocating the right amount every month to each bill, basically. So what I do is I go in and I have a look at my bank account and I write down, for my bills, I write down how much they've added up to over the last year. And assuming no rate rises, or if I've not been told of any rate rises, I'm going to write that down, calculate what it should be monthly, so I know what to budget for monthly. So, health insurance. So, health insurance is $3,223.20. So it's $268.60 per month, which is $3,223.20 a year. House insurance is $160.57 a month, which is $1,926.84 a year. My phone is $59 a month, which equals to $708. Internet is $97 a month, which is $1,164. Internet. Okay, so this is where you have to do some math. So land rates is $440 per quarter, which means that it's $1,760 a year. If we divide that by 12, we get $146.70. Okay. Water rates, I've got $725 a year. And if we divide that by 12, we get $60.45. Electricity. So electricity is $1,283 a year, which will equal $106.95 a month. Car insurance is, I believe it's $112. Let me just double check. 13. Yeah, so it's $112.41 a month, which will make that $1,348.92. Roadside is, hold on, let me check. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. 138.84. So yeah, it's $11.57, which makes it $138.84. My subscriptions have gone up dramatically. They are now, and this is why it's important to do this. So before I was putting aside $15 a month, and this is substantially more than $15 a month. So they're $533.16 a year, which is, you know, $44.45, substantially more than $15 a month. And you'll see that like car insurance is a bit higher. Some are a bit less, some are a bit higher. I do this to make sure I know that I'm paying the right amount of money into places. And then the credit card is still $250 a month. I still pay $250 a month. The minimum is like $105. I'm still paying $250. I still plan to pay $250. And that's what I consider my minimum payment on my credit card. I have a great low interest, like I have a great deal on my credit card, but I pay $250 a month. That is just something I'm choosing to do, plus that additional $3,000 I want to pay off. So $250 times 12, so that's $3,000. But a lot of, like, $100 of that is like, at least $80 of that is interest. So like 80 times 12, yeah, at least $960 of that is interest. So, you know, not fantastic. So let's see how much my bills cost me every year. So 3,223, 1,926, 84, 78, 1,964, 1,760, 705, 1,723, 1,148, 92, 138, 84, 116. So my bills are $15,810.96 per year. Now I'm on $28,000 a year. So that's 56.5% of my income goes solely to bills. That's just to the bills, not even to everyday expenses, which we'll get to. That's the next one I'm going to look over. All right, let's have a look how much monthly it should be. So 268.60 plus 160, 57 plus 59 plus 97 plus 46, 70 plus 60, 45 plus 106, 95 plus 112, 41 plus 11, 57 plus 45, 45 plus 250 equals $1,317.70. All right. Everyday expenses. Let's have a look at this. So, groceries. I'm averaging about 100 per week, though that is extremely tight given the expenses, given how much food's costing. So dining out is $10 per week. Realistically, it's $20 per fortnight because I can only afford to go out once a fortnight. Fun. So fun is $15 per fortnight. Life happens buffer is $10 per week. Charity is $15 per fortnight. As tight as my finances are, I know how much worse it could be. I have been homeless before, so I know how much worse it can be. So I always try and give, even if it's just a little. Fuel. So fuel is $50 per week. So I'm going to try and cut that down. Medication is $20 per week. Doctors is $5 per week. Carers is $5 per week. Mental health is $5 per fortnight. Physical therapy is $5 per fortnight. Medical equipment is $5 per week. And hospital access is $10 per week. Alright. 100 times 50. 100 times 52 is 5,200 on groceries, 520 on dining out, 390 on fun per year, 520 as a life buffer per year, 390 on charity per year, 2,600 on fuel, 1,040 on medications, 260 on doctors per year, 260 on doctors, on carers per year, 130 on mental health, 130 on physical health, 260 on medical equipment, and 520 on hospital access. So if we have a look per month, based off I'm not going to base it off because I didn't base that one off. I did it per month. So I'll base these off. So 433.35. So 43.35. 32.50. 43.25. 32.50. 216.70. 86.70. 21.70. 21.70. 10.85. 10.85. 21.70. 43.25. So let's see how much this adds up to. Okay, 5 plus 20 plus 3, 19 plus 20 plus 3, 19 plus 100 plus 40 plus 60. So $11,096. So this is 42.7% of my income goes to everyday expenses. I can maybe cut some from fuel if I don't have to drive so much on a particular week. But sometimes I have to drive for work, which means you need the fuel in the car to earn the money, which is always so annoying. But 42%, so 42.7 plus 56.5 minus 100. I have 0.8% of my income that isn't allocated to what I call my essentials, my bills and my everyday expenses. People talk about doing the 70-20-10 budget, and I'm always like, how is 70% of your income like needs? My bills are 56% alone, and food is a need. And this is the reality of living on the lower end of the income spectrum. You have barely anything. So when I can take the rollover from my wallet and save it into my savings challenges, I take that as a win. I take that I've been able to save on spending that week, and I can afford to save that money away, because 0.8 of $28,000, 0.8 times 28,000, no, 0.08 times 28,000 is, across the entire year, I can save $2,240, which isn't really a lot when you think about it. All right, let's add up this monthly every day. This is taking into account that I've based this off a 52-week year, which does mean that we do have those magic months of 5. Usually this rounds up to like 440, 30, 40 and things. But, you know, this is just... Every month I do the budget based on how many weeks are in the month. But this is just like averaged out. The bills, on the other hand, these bills come out monthly. So they usually come out once a month. So that is the monthly amount. Versus this, which is based over 52 weeks, 26 fortnights. Doesn't quite, in 12 months, doesn't quite even out. Some months it will be this, some months it won't be this. So this is just me doing the math at the beginning, but I do my monthly budget, and you'll see in my monthly budget how that works. So 43, 5, 3, 5, 250, 35, 43, 5, 250, 43, 5, 250, 16, 17, 86, 17, 17, 17, 10, 85, 10, 85, 45. $1,018.40. I hope that gives you a bit of an idea of what it's actually like, and why, like, sometimes I'm struggling every month or a week if I get paid less to figure out what I'm going to do, because I have 0.8% margin across the entire year to make things. So I will sometimes have to pull from fuel, but I will have an empty tank and need to fill it up for the fortnight. And okay, so I can't pull from there. And do I pull from meds even though I need to go to the pharmacy? Like, where do you pull money from your everyday expenses? And the fact that these also fall under my everyday expenses as someone with a disability. Like, not only do I have to pay for health insurance, I have to make sure every year I have that $500 hospital excess for when I do go into hospital. Hopefully it's not every year, and once I reach that mark I can just keep it, but I never know. And so I have to be prepared to pay for it. So it's just a little bit tough. So let's get all that morbid yuckiness out of the way. And let's actually set up my binder. Something a little more fun, I guess we can say. So I have this, of course it's green, don't be so surprised. Then I have green things, hole punch, and I do use this A5 little folder. I find it easier for me to use it. And you can have a good little look at my monthly dividers. So yeah, I think these are just so cute. I just kind of quickly designed them up on Canva. Very much my Australiana theme. And yeah, there'll be a digital download. Their size for this, which is just slightly bigger than an A5, so they won't fit into A5 envelopes. They're designed to kind of be like these, I guess, folder dividers. So they're slightly bigger than the A5 pages deliberately, so you can use them as dividers to kind of flick to where you need to kind of go to. So I'm going to speed through doing this, and you can put the folder together. So my little, I guess, budget folder, I keep my financial goals at the front just so I can see how I'm going. And at the end of each quarter, I kind of do a check to see how I'm going with these, like if I've met the goals, where I'm at. Then the financial reset, so I know what to be putting into my bills each month, as well as what I've allocated for every day. Then we go into the monthly. So what I put in the monthly is I do a weekly expense review. This just helps me. I do this personally and I do it off camera. It just helps me kind of track where my money is going, where I'm spending my money. Do I have allocated enough to it? Am I always overspending in a particular category or not? This just helps me know where my money is going, where I'm pulling money from, all of these other things. So I put weekly expense reviews in here and I go over them. Now my monthly and my weekly budgets are still in these budget binders, and I keep them in this. These are available for sale at my Shopify store. The link will be in the description. I still do those. I prefer those because it keeps them together and I can flick through when I'm doing the weekly budget to see how much I've done. But this is for me to review how I'm going with my financial goals and with my spending. And that I don't really do in my planner. This is for me to review. The other thing that I will be doing, as it's the start of the financial year and also the start of a new quarter, is I will be filling in my quarter one start, basically. So where I am in all of my sinking funds for basically July 1. And then I will go through and I will kind of put them all in, and I will basically put this at the beginning of July, and then come October 1, I'll fill this in and have a look, see how I'm going, and I will then start quarter 2 and leave that in the front of October. And so by the end of the financial year, I can kind of track how I've been going in each of my sinking funds. So disabled life, home, people's, self, and high priority bills, which is the bill buffer, is on the same page. So I find this kind of, it's probably boring for you guys. It's just me double checking what's in my account, in my binders, and making a note of that, putting it in my records and keeping it there. It's really boring. It's just me counting my binders again, which you've already seen me do a few times for the end of year condensings and things. But if you would like to see the end of quarter one, then please let me know and I can film that when we get to October. But yeah, this is just how I personally, off camera, keep track of my finances. And sometimes there will be like receipts in here that I need to claim back on tax, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so thanks for watching. It's a bit of a long video, but those are my financial goals and my kind of like my financial reset for 23-24. Wow. Yeah, 2023 and 2024, the financial year. So thanks for watching. If you want to follow along on my low income financial freedom journey, please think about following me on Instagram and TikTok. I post there a lot too. If you like this content and you want to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. At 200 subscribers, we have a subscriber giveaway of 3 budget binders. So you've got to be subscribed to win. You've got to be in it to win it. All right. Thanks for joining me. Bye.